right to left as we look out. Breeze possibly will be on their backs as well, and now we're on at the second time of asking, and it's Monaghan immediately unchallenged in the middle of the field with Carl Gallagher that wins it, and he's breaking across on the 45. A lot of the field opened up in front, across that in front of Jason Irwin, just sidesteps a high challenge coming in on there, but buys the yard of space, turning and looking, and it's out to the wrong side of the post and wide, but Tyrone didn't even challenge there for the throw in, Tommy.
No, it was a great win, and he went straight at the Tyrone defence and just give it off to the Monaghan full forward, Jason Irwin, who came out very quickly but just put the wrong side of the post and wide.
He did indeed. Jason Irwin seems to be working out on the 45-metre line here, so there's been a swap, and I think possibly going in there. And there is Micheál Hamill, maybe he's gone into the full forward berth, and high ball coming out, breaking down between two players, comes off a hand. Tyrone player thought it was going to roll out for a sideline ball, but coming in, ensuring that didn't happen was Conor McKiernan. Plays it off using the support of Liam McDonald. Liam McDonald across in front then, and he's using the support play there, and Owen Duffy right the whole way back then to Dara Traynor, Monaghan right back inside the 45, and then with one kick pass they managed to play it out over to the far side, and it's Kyle Connolly putting the head down, got a goal to his name, the goal one of three that they got against Tyrone and Carrickmore when they met in the championship earlier on. As a nice change of hands, it's back again with Kyle Connolly, and he's putting it right across and inside looking for Micheál Hamill, and it just breaks away from him, comes back out here again, and Tyrone win themselves a free. Take it very quickly. He's played out here in front then of Rory Campbell. Rory Campbell has all of the athletic grounds opened up in front of him, and suddenly Jason Irwin comes in, and that's good tackling from Monaghan, turning the ball over. Jason Irwin very tenacious in the tackle, but the referee judges it was touched on the ground there, and Tyrone player, the Monaghan player, just getting tangled as well, and unfortunate from Monaghan's perspective. Great tackling there, closing down the Tyrone player. Yeah,
they've got 2 or 3 men round him, and just unfortunately when the ball fell to the ground, Jason Irwin just tried to scoop it away, but unfortunately touched on the ground, and here comes Tyrone now on attack.
They are indeed along the sideline with the Sears, with Mark Devlin. Pop ball right across into the centre. That's a nice placed ball inside there to the number 15, Luke Donnelly, coming out. Luke Donnelly looking, and it's in and over the bar. Good score from Luke Donnelly. Looking at the clock, 2 minutes gone with us here. That's a nice passage of play.
Yeah, it was a great score. It was a great ball in by the number 11, Mark Devlin, into Luke Donnelly high, and he spun on a sixpence, and a great score and a great start for Tyrone.
Yes, indeed. So, Joe Kirk, Maher Clune man, club man of the man alongside me here, Tommy Freeman. That's an excellent kick from a minor goalkeeper, and a wonderful mark taken in the middle of the field by Tyrone. So Monaghan don't win their first on this with Micheál or Michael McLeanan. A picture of his father, big towering player. Oh, wonderful score, Michael McLeanan. Well, he's just like the father, Matty. Took the challenge, stood up and took the score.
I don't know what they're feeding them up there, but I haven't seen a bigger minor in a long time. But just great field, broke through easy enough for the sizeman, stuck a great ball between the posts. Great score.
Did indeed. That ball was out to Jason Irwin again. Challenge, just didn't win it, and getting in hard on the tackling now, but Tyrone get it away. So it's Tyrone 2 points up here at the moment. 2 scores coming from Luke Donnelly and Michael McLean in the middle of the field, and Monaghan have finally turned it over, just relieving a little bit of pressure of themselves. 3 minutes gone here, 2 points to no score, favour of Tyrone. And Monaghan with it over on the far side with Jeremy Maran, and he plays it right up on this. Well, no, it's gone out over on the far side, sideline ball. Liam McDonald doing his best to try and keep it in there, but the ball won the race, and it's a sideline ball for Tyrone over inside their own 20-metre line, directly in front of the O'Neills, the choice of champions, who'll be the champions here today. That's the sign. It's over on that far side, and Tyrone take it quick, short, and move back inside the field, coming out over their 45 now, and carrying it out for them is James Donaghy. James Donaghy diagonal ball right across here, and coming in, and a good challenge going in there again. Shane Slevin doing very well to win the second ball. Second time of asking, just laid it off there. Referee was a judge, and he'd give a quick advantage, and then pulled the back play, and Monaghan are keen because Shane Slevin had run on up into space there after being fouled, and the referee judges that he took too many steps. Oh, that seemed a harsh call against him there, but referee right down in the middle of the action. A great challenge and a brilliant breakdown from the full back, Ronan Boyle, right here in the middle of the field. Lovely ball played in here then in front of Kyle Connolly. Kyle Connolly's taken one look at the goals, going, and he pops it in and over the bar, and that was a brilliant ball won in the middle of the field.
It was a brilliant ball, yes. Just number one of the boys just caught 2 minds. He was going to go for the score, and then he must have heard a call, and then he was done for over carrying, but then Monaghan won it back, and a great score there by Kyle Connolly. He ran straight at the Tyrone defence, and a good score. That's what Monaghan needed to settle him down.
It is indeed. Monaghan 1 point, Tyrone 2 points. 4.5 minutes gone with us here, and that was a wonderful breakdown. There's Ronan Boyle come out into the middle of the field to break that one down, and now Tyrone going on the opposite side of the field. Sean O'Donnell from Trillick crossing over the 45, still continuing on. The hand comes in on the back of him there from Jamie Maran. Was it enough to put him off. It was indeed. Referee judges, but it was a legal hand that came in, just a little tug back on there. He wins himself the free, so he does, over on that far side, and Tyrone will have an opportunity with their corner forward Luke Donnelly to put this one in and over the bar. I would have thought, look, and there's not a breath of a breeze now. It has cooled down again. Sun's momentarily gone in, but it's only gone behind white cloud. Temperatures still sweltering here, whatever, but the temperatures out on the field, I can tell you, sweltering in this press box with us as well, behind the double glazing that we have here. Now there's plenty of sweat going all around here, and the sweat at the moment is on the Tyrone player, the number 15, Luke Donnelly. A couple of yards, maybe 10 yards in from the far sideline, but he turns that one in, puts that one over, as you expect any good corner forward like yourself to be able to do, Tommy. That was bread and butter. Yeah, it was bread and butter, and it was a nice one to start off for any player's kick-off. But there's one thing I've noticed, Tyrone is not hanging about. After Monaghan got that good score, the goalie got out quick, and they're breaking at speed out of defence, so Monaghan just has to be alert to that. Do indeed. Wonderful mark taken by Jason Irwin. It was blowing, the Tyrone didn't step back, and he got it moved up, the free that was, and now he plays it across in front of Ronan Boyle. It's 3 points to 1 in favour of Tyrone, and it's still with Monaghan out in the centre here with Carl Gallagher. Carl Gallagher steps into a challenge, but he lays it off inside once more. Dara Dempsey with an effort. Dara Dempsey turns it in and over the bar. 2 points to 3, and it's just end here at the minute. It is, and it's a great start, and a lovely point there by Dara Dempsey. He just got on to his left and called it in, and it just crept in. For 1 minute I thought it was just going to go to the right hand side of the post, but listen, it's over the bar, and a great score. Tyrone go with it short here with their goalkeeper Fintan Corey, or Coney I should say, and now they're trying to build it out. So Kyle Connolly and Dara Dempsey with the points for Monaghan. Looking at the clock, 6.5 minutes gone. It's here, 3 points to 2. Swithbert Tyrone still in their full back line. Shea Daly now deciding to jack a little bit of pace and plays it out here in front and using the support play. I think that's James Donnelly to come and give him an option. It was indeed. Tried to play it in, well read inside there by Luke Donnelly, so he did. He got out in front when it looked like the corner back had done enough, and he puts it out to the wrong side of the post and wide. That's Tyrone's first wide, I believe, by my reckoning. Monaghan with 1 wide to their name as well, and one of their first early attacks, so it was. But that Luke Donnelly, I tell you what, he's got pace inside there. Won the race between 2 Monaghan men for that one. Yeah, he started the game really well, so he's on form now. So Monaghan need to keep an eye on him now for the remainder of this match. Do indeed. Joe Kirk again changed direction of his kick out. He's gone now for 2 sidelines, 1 down the middle. They have won 1 of them, and that's in and over the bar. Wonderful score. I'm not so sure. It's running it back across here into the centre again. It's the number 14 David Fullerton that got that one, or Daniel I should say, Daniel Fullerton with that one, and it's put it back out again from what appeared to be an impossible angle for himself in over the bar. Joe Kirk out again. He aims for Jason Irwin here once more. Tyrone player doing very well. There's a Tyrone player still down on the ground and coming across and taking that one in as Kyle Connolly was pushed out, bundled out. Yeah, referee judges what we've seen as well, that he was bundled out over the sideline. Tyrone thought they'd won the sideline ball after a lot of hard work, and Joe Kirk, as I say, has been forced to change the direction of his kicks. Jason Irwin just puts that one across the centre right in front of the D, but it's well taken down by Ronan Boyle. Been very impressive in fairness, and the 3 or 4 balls that he's won in there, he's certainly used his strength. And it's out to the corner back here. Shane Slevin just takes a little solo out of it and buys himself, turns and buys the yard, trying to just step away, loses the ball, but it's time to take it back up again and again. Then they give it away, and that's just careless from Monaghan. So it is. He was caught for options, and it was Owen Duffy that was stripped of possession there, and Daniel Fullerton that got the last point there for Tyrone to put 2 between them. 4 points to 2 with 8.5 minutes gone here. Tyrone go the whole way back and make use inside there of the number 2 Conor Cuddy, and he plays it out here in front then. I think that's coming looking for Darren McGrath. It is indeed, and nice ball played across in front then of Daniel Fullerton. Fullerton playing it up into the corner. Good battle in between, and it's the corner back this time from Monaghan that wins it. You'd be shouting bend your back, but they're not doing that. Tyrone player is bending his back, just can't get it up, and I'm sure there has to be a touch of a ball on the ground inside there. The referee was right in on top of it. It's come out to Michael McLean, and it falls back then to Daniel Fullerton, and Daniel Fullerton puts it in across the goals and goes out to the wrong side of the post and wide, so it does. And just probably it was gone for 45, so there was obviously a hand got to it there, and that's exactly, so we'll both mark off that wide again. There was obviously a hand got in on it there as it went out as well. I'm surprised Joe Kirk, because he would have had time to take it there. He mustn't have realised it was touched. No, and to be honest, I didn't see the touch either, but there was obviously something on it because the 45 has been awarded. But I was just noticing Monaghan's sweeper is Dower Trainer's obviously playing a sweeper over us, so we'll let them Tyrone actually have the kick out, so maybe that's something we might have to look at, because Tyrone is, breaking very, very quick out of defence at pace, and they're causing Monaghan a bit of trouble in these opening 10 or 12 minutes. Again, very, very warm sun back out again, glorious conditions, and you just wonder as the game would go on if Tyrone got a foothold in it, the energy levels will be sapped out of these players as well as coming across that one. That's a wonderful strike of a 45 from Mark Devlin. There was extra bit of distance, and not Rory Began would have even been proud of that one.
Yeah, definitely so. It's a great skill still to see in the game, and from a minor there, Mark Devlin, what a strike, and you said it fully cleared the crossbar and had plenty of space, but a great score.
Great score from Shirley. Joe Kirk placing the ball. He's a little bit slow at this time placing it out. Tyrone just trying to match up where they think the ball's going to go. Joe Kirk bends again, moves the kick and tee across, a bit more central for himself. He's going to go out to the far sideline. Yeah, good spot coming across, and in one hand with the player goes up, takes it down. Is Kyle Connolly over on that far side. Wonderful takedown, and now he puts the head down. He's done this in the opening 8 to 9 minutes here. Just puts the head down and runs in, and he plays a nice ball up in front there to Michael Hammond. Done very well to take it at the second time of asking, because it looked like it got across from trying to step inside, and he's still continuing on, and he pops it in. And it's just over the crossbar. Wonderful work from Michael Hamill, because he had no support.
He had no other choice. He asked the question of the defender. You know, as a forward, you have to test your man out straight away, and that he done. He took 2 or 3 men over, and he was tight for space, and a great fist point over the bar. Great score.
Great score from Michael Hamill. Looking at the clock, of 11 minutes gone. Monaghan win a sideline ball directly below us. Jason Irwin's on it, plays it right up into the corner. Jason Irwin definitely working out on the sort of half forward line. He plays it into the corner forward. Liam McDonald back out again to Jason Irwin. Back once more with Liam McDonald's very quickly through the hands, coming round and looping round as Dara Dempsey to give him an option. Dara just momentarily stalls his run. He tried to lay it off, and it's going to come bouncing back to him, and it has done that out to Ronan Boyle, the full back, right up now on the opposing 45, and places it across in front of Jimage Marin. Jimage Marin inside then to Liam McDonald. Liam McDonald puts it in. It's back down off the upright. Michael Hamill, I thought it was going to react quickest, but it wasn't. It was Mark Devlin, I think it was in there, that reacted the quickest, and he plays it out in front here to James Donaghy. James Donaghy then using the support play of Sean O'Donnell. Sean O'Donnell out now to the near sideline with the centre half back. Niall Devlin, captain of the side, plays a beautiful ball across in front. James Donaghy had continued on his run, and now he pops it up in front, and it's a great battle between the cornerbacks and the corner forwards in there again. Who's going to go down and come out with it? Ronan Boyle, the full back. What you want to see your full back doing? Up at one end of the field, offering support to the forward play, now back doing what he's supposed to do in his full back line in the south with Conor McKiernan. Conor McKiernan over on the far side using the support of Liam McDonald. Right out over on the far sideline, turns back in again, took a little nice bounce out of the ball there just to buy a yard of space, plays it right up into the corner. He's looking for Hamill once more, but that's just travelled too far on the dry sod, and it's gone out, and it'll register as a wide, even though it was an attempt for a ball to try and find Michael Hamill in there. And Monaghan maybe begin to exploit maybe a little bit of space and a little bit of pace that Michael Hamill's bringing on that side.
Yeah, it was a bad ball into him, in fairness. Obviously, you just better move it to the sideline. But listen, they're still well in the game here. Good start, 5 points to 3, so there's just no need to panic yet.
Tyrone going on the attack here once more. They've worked it from their kick out, and they've played it right up into the corner. There's an errant water bottle lying on the 20 metre line, and that's not going to put off Daniel Fullerton as he puts that one in. It goes out to the wrong side of the post wide. That'll register as a second wide. It's 5 points to 3, as Tommy said you there. 13 minutes gone with us here in the first half. The water bottle has been spotted. The Mierishka has gone on and has picked it up and taken it off. I suppose the worst thing about a water bottle like that, just a player step on it, they could roll their ankle. So it's only right and proper that it is removed off the field. It is going to be a day for the water. Kyle Connolly offers himself as an option for a kick out on the 20 metre line. Joe Kirk happy to make use of that. Still Kyle Connolly didn't move 1 yard. He took 2 solos and a hop out of the ball, and now it moves with pace. Ronan Boyle again coming deep from his full back position, and he carried it right up into the middle of the field. Oh, lovely little ball played off in front there of Owen Duffy. Owen Duffy, and the pace has carried him through. Owen Duffy going for the score. Wonderful score, Owen Duffy, built by the full back there, Ronan Boyle.
Yeah, great score from a short kick out, and Ronan Boyle got to attack the pace, and in come Owen Duffy down through the centre at pace and off the left foot. What a score. Great score for Monaghan.
Great score indeed. Well, that's a forward from 2013 that is an Ulster senior medal to his name, Tommy Freeman, talking about an Ulster minor here with a wonderful score there. Owen Duffy right through the middle, as Tommy described it, after wonderful work from Ronan Boyle back in the full back line that carried the ball out after the support play of Kyle Connolly, and the goalkeepers now both adjust into going short, as with Fintan Coney here. 1 point between them, 4 points to 5 in favour of Tyrone. 14 minutes gone. Has been end-to-end stuff, in fairness. Some wonderful passages of play here already with us in this opening quarter, and it's been turned over, and Monaghan done very well inside with Carl Gallagher. Lays it off to Jason Irwin. Back again. Will he give it to Carl Gallagher? He will. Goal opportunity for Monaghan. Is he going to put it in? Penalty. dragged out. Oh, the referee judges nothing wrong with that tackle, and it's back up on their feet again. Jason Irwin puts it in and over the bar to use the post. Oh, well, I tell you, I'd like to see that one again.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a penalty from here, no doubt about it. But I thought he could have just taken the shot a little bit sooner than what he was going to. But definitely from here, it looked like a penalty. But the referee was waving it away. But lucky enough, we came away with the point through Jason Irwin.
Jason Irwin at the end of the post, and Fintan Coney, well, it was one of those ones maybe, and Tommy called it that Carl Gallagher, he just took an extra yard that carried him into the goalkeeper. Maybe that's in fairness the way the referee's seen it here, but we're all level. So Jason Irwin and Owen Duffy and Monaghan then go up high, push on the back, they reckon here. So it's interesting, the goalkeeper went long with it there, so we've seen the variation in the kickouts as well. Sideline ball right up along the sideline here indeed, and it falls in front of Mark Devlin. Mark Devlin stepping inside, Shane 7. Oh, beautiful Littles 3, yeah, well spotted, and Tommy spotted it, and the referee, I can tell you, Don Mullen spotted it as well. The couple of bounces that he couldn't take with it there. I don't know, have you ever been guilty of that, Tommy?
Oh, I haven't on several occasions, but I actually think it was 3 bounces he took there without playing the ball. But anyway, it was seen by the referee, and here comes Monaghan now in another attack.
Whatever be getting away with the 2, you're going to do very well to get away with the 3, I would have thought. And Monaghan with Dara Traynor carrying over the 45, and Tyrone are allowing to carry. He's over the 65 that's marked for us here, and now he uses the support play out on that far side. Monaghan still in possession of the ball, looking across. Who's given an option? Carl Gallagher's given an option. He makes use of that option. It was the number 10 coming in, Jimage Moran, that was on the ball, laid it off to Carl Gallagher. Jimage Moran carried on his run, steps inside, 1 tackle, steps inside, 2 tackles, spills the ball, will have time to go across. Oh, and he pops it in and over. That's a volley point. He dropped the ball and he just pulled on it, soccer style, over the bar.
Yeah, in fairness, he had no other opportunity. He swung the left there and it went over the bar. Great score, and Monaghan's really now on top in this game, so they really need to drive on at the minute.
They do indeed. 6 points to 5 in favour of Monaghan. Well, you'll go a long time, I think, to see another point like that. He spilled the ball and he just swung the boot at it, and it went where he wanted it to go, in and over the bar. Actually could have crept in underneath the bar. A great battle out in the middle of the field here. The referee judges there was a foul and a push and a trip and anything else that you're having out there. So Monaghan have an opportunity to come back here again with this one. Tyrone taking it out then to Mark Devlin. Mark Devlin switching the direction of the play across. There's another push in on the back. Referee doesn't spot it this time, in on Luke Donnelly. There's a great battle between himself and Ronan Boyle, and that goes out to the wrong side of the post and wide. The umpire there just taking one quick look at the other umpire, but we could tell even from here it went to the wrong side of the post and wide, so it did. And Joe Kirk, the goalkeeper I should say, down on my right hand side, pops it short and makes use of the player in front of him, Shane Hanratty. So great variation of the kick out, the going long, going short, retaining possession, carrying with force through the middle. We've seen it all here with Shane Slevin and Monaghan at the moment. That's exactly what he's doing, driving through the middle. Where's the support? He's going right out into the corner. We've seen this play before to Michael Hamill. Michael Hamill's been forced the whole way right along the sideline, the end line. He's going to need help out there. He goes to ground, he pops it back out again to Liam McDonald. Liam McDonald goes the whole way back down to the 65 to Jimage Moran. Jimage Moran takes a bounce out of the ball. He's looking, he's seeing, everybody just catching their breath, and he comes back to Ronan Boyle. Ronan Boyle coming from his full back position again and taking the ball. He's going to carry, he's crossed the 45, turns and comes back out again. He's going to change it back over once more to the number 10 inside, Jimage Moran. Jimage Moran takes a look at the post offside of the boot, and that's out to the wrong side of the post and wide. Probably not just the option you'd like to have taken there. He didn't seem comfortable even from when he kicked it.
No, it was just one of those that went wrong from the outside of the right boot and out wide. But listen, you know, that's it. You have to have a pop at these ones, but unfortunately it just didn't work out for Dermot this time.
6 points to 5 in favour of Monaghan. The last 4 scores have come from Monaghan. They were 2 points to 5 down. Scored the last 4. Put themselves in the lead. We're looking at the clock, 18 minutes gone. Wonderful mark taken in the middle of the field there again by Carl Gallagher. Goes to ground, wins himself the free. Tyrone player, well, we can tell it's Micheál Medlinen because he stands head and shoulders above any other player out on the field. Wasn't best pleased with that decision that went against him. Played nicely in front of Dara Dempsey. Dara Dempsey looking at the ball. Oh, wonderful score from Dara Dempsey. Even the goalkeeper just looked up and couldn't believe that popped over his head.
Yeah, great ball in, just took it on the run, looked over his left shoulder, and what a score. Great score definitely. Monaghan really on top now at the minute. But it's been interesting, Sean. What I know is Tyrone now is taking the last 3 kickouts long. I know that one's after going short, and Monaghan's getting good success out in the middle of the field.
They have indeed, yeah, good call by Tommy there. They've changed it immediately. They went short there, coming through the middle was Aaron McGrath to give them an option. And I think it's back with him once more, and he plays it out here. So Tyrone have changed it again. They're gone short now with their kickouts with Conor Cuddy. They're crossing over the 65. It's with Mark Devlin. Mark Devlin trying to pop a pass through there. Monaghan should read it. Very impressive again, coming out the number 19, Cian Maguire. He's bottled up. He wins himself the free. And I think Cian Maguire's popped back into the full back line, and Ronan Boyle has moved out possibly to a half forward line, and that's why we're seeing so much of him, maybe even operating around the middle of the field. So it's a swap. That's why we're seeing so much of Ronan Boyle. Indeed, speaking of him at the moment, he's on the ball. He is Jason Irwin out to my left hand side here. Jason Irwin, oh, beautiful little shimmy. He bought himself the couple of yards that he needed to run into space. Runs into the first of the tackles, goes to ground. Referee judges there was nothing wrong with the tackle. Back with Ronan Boyle. Ronan Boyle pops it across inside to Kyle Connolly. Kyle Connolly back out here to Jason Irwin, still involved with the attack here. Jason Irwin puts it in and out to the wrong side of the post and white. But that was very intelligent play from Monaghan.
Yeah, a little dummy run there from Jason Irwin there, and dropped the shoulder and away he went, and I actually thought it was going to creep inside the post, but also it just went to the right hand wide.
It did indeed. The water coming on here again. That's Monaghan's 4th wide. Tyrone with 3. Monaghan 7 points to 5 to the good. 20 minutes gone with us here in this first half. As Tyrone go short with it once more, so they've changed again. They went short, they went long. They were making nothing of it when they went long, so they're back to going short once more. Conor Kiernan putting pressure on Michael McGleenan. He took a challenge there after he got the ball away, but the referee is adjudging that he was a push inside then on Luke Donnelly. Tyrone take it very quickly up into the corner here, and as well one out front by Mark Devlin. He's trying to set himself up, but he's done that. Nice score from number 11, Mark Devlin there. Tyrone needed that, because by my calculations they've just went about 10 to 11 minutes there without a score, so that's a settling one for them.
Yeah, definitely they needed that one, and it was a great score. So Mark Devlin won the ball, took his man on and found that little bit of space and tipped it over to the right foot. Great score.
Good score indeed. 21 minutes gone with us here. Really been end-to-end stuff when you consider the temperatures, sun beaming down, beautiful sky, wonderful grounds with us here, and the Athletic Grounds, massive crowd in for this one as well, let me tell you too. And just going by the cheer we hear, Monaghan have a massive support carried with them here. Tyrone of course are in the under-20 final a little later on this afternoon as well at 6 o'clock. They face Derry, the defending champions in that one, so no doubt Tyrone will have travelled in large numbers as well in Super 8 action yesterday, so maybe just supporters feeling a little pinches with Ronan Boyle as with Conor McKiernan, and he's just bottled up and balls gone off with Shea Daly over on that far side, and Shea Daly goes to the ground, wins himself a free right back on his own 20-metre line. A referee for today, Dan Mullen, signalling as a shrill blow of the whistle and a raising of the arm. What direction it's going in was Sean O'Donnell. Tyrone over on that far side being chased and harried by Jamie Marin, and just a little clip of the heels there was enough to stop his gallop, so he's going to be asked to step back. Signage over on the far side. He was in front of McInteriors. He's moving back now in front of simplyfruit.com, using them just as areas on the field. Give us placings as to where players are. He plays it across. 2 Tyrone players go. One call goes out to the other. It was the full forward Daniel Fullerton come out, got the loudest call, and he plays it into the corner to Luke Donnelly. Luke Donnelly on Cian Maguire. Luke Donnelly pops it in and over the bar. He's a special talent, that little corner forward. This
is a good bit of stuff here now. It was a great ball in by Daniel Fullerton into Luke Donnelly, and he just shimmied left to right, found that wee bit of space and over the bar. Great score.
Great score indeed. A wonderful mark taken again by Jamie Marin out on that far side from a wonderful kick out from Joe Fullerton. We're all square here once more. Luke Donnelly with the latest point. That's 2 unanswered points from Tyrone after Monaghan's salvo of 4 points, and it's with Michael Hamill, is it? No, it's the number 13. It's Dara Dempsey that's over there, and he's done very well. He buys himself the space again inside to Conor McKiernan. He's bottled up again. Oh, he's doing very well to come back out of that one. They're calling, they're screaming. He just couldn't get it away, so they couldn't, and now Tyrone have turned it over. Probably could have got it away a little bit quicker, and now he'll be in a chase to get back down to the middle of the field as Michael McGleenan works his way through the field. I see another water bottle on the field as well, so that'll have to be removed. It's with Daniel Fullerton. Daniel Fullerton looks like he's fouled. He tried to get that one away. He's going to win himself for free. It's right out on the 20-metre line in the intersection with the D. Luke Donnelly, I would have thought, will stand over this one. He had bread and butter a little earlier on with an effort from in there. This should be similar, and Tyrone, you'd imagine, should go one back up again, but Conor McKiernan just maybe finding himself a little bit of difficulty there. Could have maybe released the ball a bit quicker up at the far end where the turnover came.
Yeah, it was Dara Dempsey. It was on his own, just on the edge of the D, but he just delayed the pass that second or two late, and Tyrone got the hand in and broke out fast. And now they're here on a simple free kick. But just to comment on the game, the quality of scores here in the first 20-25 minutes, it's just been exceptional high from young players here. It's been a joy to watch so far. So this one should put Tyrone now ahead again.
Should indeed. 7 points apiece. Looking at the clock, 24.5 minutes gone here. Luke Donnelly stepped out. He's right on the edge of the D. Puts it in. The umpires look at it. Oh, it's out to the wrong side of the post and wide. But commentators, of course, have you ever seen it there? Because the two umpires looked at each other. That seemed an easier effort from the one he took earlier, and I'd called it bread and butter. So unfortunately, it was butter side down on the ground that time for him. Unfortunate from Luke Donnelly, and the goal kick goes awry, and it won by Tyrone over on the far side. Sean O'Donnell down in front to Mark Devlin. Mark Devlin crossing over the 20-metre line, shouted all the way by Ronan Boyle, and he still hasn't gotten away from him, but he comes back out again. Great block inside. Cian Maguire tried to go up, but he doesn't break it away from Luke Donnelly. Luke Donnelly going to ground. Monaghan just crowd in over him, and the ball is spilled. Referee's not blowing for it. Another Tyrone player coming in and trying to boot the ball, and now he's going to touch and say it was touched on the ground. But all the players kind of stood for a split second seeing was there going to be a foul called there. Either way, it wasn't the case, and the ball just was there to be played, and eventually Monaghan got the advantage of the free, and now Joe Kirk has decided that he's going to go driving through the middle right out onto the 45, plays the ball across here. Monaghan player, was fouled. I have to credit Dan Mullen, the referees, on top of all these little indiscretions. That was a foul in on the back of Liam McDonald there. Jason Irwin right back with us here. I mean, the 65 and the 45, he's going to go the whole way backwards to Shane Slevin. Shane Slevin carrying, and again Monaghan just going driving with pace and force, and he's opened up a yard of space. He's moved the whole way in on the 20-metre line, and maybe just doesn't back himself. Now he does to go for the score. Popped it in and over the bar. Tyrone guilty of offering all that space up.
Definitely so. They must have seen number 2 in his back, and they said, here, we let him have it. And I think, in fairness, Shane Slevin was looking for somebody off the shoulder, but listen, there was no one coming. He backed himself, and he deserved the score. Great score.
He did indeed, because I was in the same way of thinking number 2 on his back. Maybe he just doesn't have the belief in himself, but he did have the belief. He put it in and over the bar. Monaghan go 1 up again, so they do, from an opportunity at one end for Tyrone to go 1 up. It's Monaghan that turn it over, 8 points to 7. Great score from Shane Slevin, and Tyrone really did just step off and offered him the field, and he was glad to take it. And now Tyrone have won the kick out again with Sean O'Donnell. It's interesting. Monaghan's long kick outs now being gobbled up, or that was a Tyrone kick out, in fairness, but the last couple of long kick outs like that have gone the way of Tyrone, and that's a lovely score from Mark Devlin to level matters up here again. It really is just end to end stuff of the highest quality. Tommy, I'm just going to go because a quick kick out here from Joe Kirk. Joe Kirk playing it out in front. Monaghan going attacking. I think that's Kyle Connolly. It is indeed. Plays it across and uses Conor McKiernan. Conor McKiernan looking a high fisted ball going up, looking for Liam McDonald. Liam McDonald definitely has the pace on the full back. Neil McCann inside there, because he won that race, so he did, to get his hand to it. He has options left and right of him, and he still plays the ball in his back out. I think it's Dara Dempsey that's given him that option, and they're going to play it the whole way back out. Shane Slevin, confidence will be high on him as he's got a point to his name, and now he looks across. He sees Owen Duffy, definitely has a yard of pace there as well. Back out in front once more to Carl Gallagher. Carl Gallagher swings about. The umpires looking at each other, out to the wrong side, post and wide, but it's very telling. 2 or 3 sort of sprint races there. Monaghan won the 2 or 3 races.
They have Owen Duffy, who's laying out a centre back, is making these bursts right down the centre, and it's causing Tyrone big problems, and Monaghan found him there, and this was just unlucky there by Carl Gallagher to put that to the left and wide.
Was indeed, and now the kick out has gone awry for Tyrone. It's out over the sideline here. Jason Irwin looking to take it quickly. He does that in front of Dara Dempsey. If he pops it back out to Jason, Jason's in a better angle. Dara Dempsey backs himself. Wonderful score from Dara Dempsey. Jason Irwin was screaming he was at a better angle. Dara Dempsey backed himself.
That's it. He just got that, 4 or 5 seconds of space on his own. He took the bounce, looked up, put the boot through. Great score. Fantastic. As I said, the quality of score here in this final has been exceptional, Sean.
It has indeed. Monaghan go 1 back up again. 9 points to 8. Dara Dempsey with a wonderful score, come from a sideline ball of Tyrone's kick out that went out over the sideline, and Jason Irwin took it to Dara and he called for it back, but Dara backed himself, and rightly so, in a great run race out. And there's a number 7 Tommy signalling here, Sean O'Donnell from Tyrone breaking through, but we didn't pick up on Rory Campbell coming across. He pops it up, but he was giving it into nobody there, and the management, Tyrone management below was here, threw the ball or the water bottle down in disgust, because they knew himself, Rory Campbell, had done such wonderful work to break through the Monaghan defence there, and just hopelessly give the ball away, and now Owen Duffy, that man that Tommy mentioned there, once again going what we see him doing, breaking through the middle. He has options out to his right hand side, looks like a little tug on him there, and then another, looked like a foul. No, referee's happy enough, and now at the third time of asking, he wins himself for free and he pops the ball up in front of Liam McDonald. Liam McDonald pops it back down again, and Dara Dempsey, it looks like, is going to come out and stand over this one. Well, Dara, confidence and high with him on his 2 points that he's got on this opener. Oh, he's 3 in fact, 3 points, and he takes it short. They didn't pick up that Jermage Marin had given him an option over on the 20-metre line, and he plays it inside to Micheál Hamill, and he steps inside then from the challenge as well. He's trying to buy a yard out of Kyle Connolly. Kyle Connolly looking to, and he tried to come across. Well, you're never going to get it over the tallest man on the field, Michael McLean, and he done very well right back on his own goal line. And Tyrone now try to break out with it. It's 9 points to 8 in favour of Monaghan. 30 minutes gone. It's after being signalled there. What we have, I'd imagine, is very, very little, possibly just the 1 minute. I'd be thinking that, because we've had absolutely no stoppages in this first half. So we have on his Tyrone coming through the middle here once more. They'd like to level things up. It'd probably be a fair reflection of the game if the Manchester done that going in at the break. It's back with their captain Niall Devlin just inside the 65, pops a pass up in front then to Daniel Furleton. Daniel Furleton being gobbled up by the tide of blue. Jason Irwin getting the tackles in on him. They turn it over. Ronan Boyle. Monaghan now have an opportunity maybe to put 2 between them. Great work from the captain Jason Irwin. Shane Slevin again has been offered all of the athletic grounds. They still don't believe that he has the capability of taking on and getting a score. He plays it back to Jason Irwin. Turned that one over. Monaghan maybe looking just to play it out to half time here. They would have heard, that's a dangerous ball across the middle there, and Tyrone have turned it over. That was a little laxy. Rory Campbell plays it up in front of Mark Devlin. Mark Devlin crossing over on the 20-metre line, or 45 I should say, coming back inside once more onto the right boot, and he pops it out to the wrong side of the post and wide. Monaghan could have been punished there from what seemed to be just a laxy kick across. It looked like Monaghan were trying to play it up to the half-time whistle, and I'd imagine this will be it. Joe Kirk with the kick out, and it is the half-time whistle. Monaghan could have been punished there, taking in the 1 point lead at the break. As I say, maybe a draw game could have been a fair reflection on it, but the fact that Monaghan and the attacking they've done, Tommy, maybe that they're deserving of being just that 1 point ahead.
Yeah, it lifted the spirits all right. So as I said, we followed on after the minors and got over the line that day, which was a great day for Monaghan football.
Michael McLean has won the throw in. He's going the whole way through the middle. Surely somebody's going to stop him. Back of the net. Michael McLean won the throw in right up through the middle and straight to the back of the net. Goal for Tyrone, and I tell you, that's the way to start the second half, Tommy.
Definitely right, straight through the middle. A big man, no one came out to meet him. Swung the left boot hat, back in net, game on.
Oh, wonderful mark there by Carl Gallagher above Michael McLean, and so it was. Well, credit where his credit's due. We thought maybe Michael McLean just couldn't or hadn't offered as much as he could in the first half. Well, he's put all that to bed. A goal could be a big score in this one. It puts them 2 points back up again, 1-8 to 11, or to 9 points. That's 11 versus 9, and Monaghan will have to go the whole way back there and rebuild again, and they're trying to do that with Conor McKiernan. And he goes to ground. The referee judges nothing wrong with the tackle there, so Tyrone lift it back on their own 45. Great hand going in from Jason Irwin there to turn that one over. Conor McKiernan fouled as he tried to get that one away. That's into Carl Gallagher. Goal opportunity for Monaghan. He was here before, but he goes in, he puts it in and over the bar. They'll take that with Carl Gallagher. It looked like he was going to get the foul for being bottled up as well. Good use by the referee. He allowed him just to play on, and he looked like it was going to open up momentarily for him, but goal opportunities at either end. Tyrone take theirs, but Monaghan reply straight back with a point of their own. Yeah, great reply. I thought he was going to pull the trigger on it, and there was a wee man just inside him, but he just couldn't get it back. So did the goalie and an extra defender got back? So listen, I think he took the right option, stuck it over the bar height, but good response. Good response. 10 points to 1-8. That's 11 points to 10 now in favour of Tyrone. Quick change around from Monaghan leading by 1 at the early throw in. Another wonderful mark in the middle of the field by that man again. I think that's Carl Gallagher. It is indeed, having a fantastic game out. That's 2 marks he's taken in this second half. Lovely ball played in front, Dara Dempsey, but coming in behind him is Jason Irwin. Jason Irwin trying to find who's inside. Is Liam McDonald back out again? Jason Irwin looking at the post. So he caught that one all wrong. It just comes off the outside of his boot. In fairness, he's under a lot of pressure there, so he was just breaking down inside. Michael Hamill trying to get a hand in that one, but there's a little foot trip in on Micheál McCann, and the Tyrone full-back wins himself the free and drops the ball, and it's with Conor Cuddy, and Conor Cuddy takes it out to the goal scorer Michael McLean. Well, what a start from Michael McLean. Took the throw in and just put the head down, and it just steps over. Well, it looked like a little push off there, but referee's happy that he can get away with it, and Michael McLean is continuing on, and He's using his strength now. Maybe there was a word in his ear. Just he's a big, imposing player. Just to use his body strength more. He's done that twice now, so he has the good effect. And Tyrone again have worked an angle for themselves here, in and over the bar. They have done it with Sean O'Donnell. Michael McLeanan's come out as a completely different man in the second half.
Yeah, and as we were just saying off air, like he probably wasn't doing as much for the size of him, but he's put all that to bed, and it's causing Monaghan's problem here to start the second half. But you can't take your eyes off this, Sean. It's just end-to-end stuff at the minute.
Certainly is. The goalkeeper Joe Kirk was under pressure with the kick out, but Monaghan have managed to get it back right down in the corner with Shane Hanratty, puts it right across in front of a square, and that's Cian Maguire, I think, coming out with it. It is indeed. He's back in the full back position. He uses the support play then again of Shane Hanratty. Tyrone just pushing up, trying to keep pressure on them, and now they work it out. Cian Maguire once again giving himself as an option in front then of Carl Gallagher. Carl Gallagher with 2 fantastic marks in this second half, so he pops it off, and Conor McKiernan doing very well on a strong challenge. Oh, referee's going to have to stop play for that one. No, he says shoulder to shoulder. Conor McKiernan, I don't think he'll be getting up from that one. That was a hefty challenge. But in fairness, he turned into the tackle, and the Tyrone player was fully committed to it as well. But that was a cruncher there, Tommy.
Oh, it was just, yeah, as you said, he was turning and he was just hitting. Now, in fairness, it was side on, it was side to side. I think it was a fair challenge, but it was just, he wasn't just ready for it. As you said, he was retrieving the ball, about to turn, and bang, a big hit. But listen, the physio now is out with him, and hopefully it's not too bad.
Yeah, he's back up, sitting back up again. It was one of those ones, he had won the ball, he had turned, he's back up on his feet. Conor McKiernan, thankfully from his perspective, it was side on to side on, but the Tyrone player had him eyed up from 2 to 3 yards out, where for Conor McKiernan, he never seen it coming. One of those ones you could hear the ooh of the crowd as the two players met, but he gets back up, and a little sort of twist of the neck to ensure that all's still in place there. And as Michael Medlinan, I should be saying, pops it the whole way back to his full back line, and coming out in support play there is Shea Daly. 2 points between them, 10 points to 1-9. That goal with the man that's on the ball at the moment, and again he's breaking through tackles now, really using his body strength. Didn't see this from him in the first half. There has to have been words in his ear maybe just to say, you're a big man, big strong lad, let's make use of it. He's done that at the start of the second half, and Tyrone moving it very quickly through the hands. Sean O'Donnell just lets it roll past in front of him there, and it comes back out in front then to Mark Devlin. Mark Devlin going to a long high speculative ball inside. Oh, great hand by Shane, up to Shane Hanratty. Was the number 10 Jimage Moran inside there. He plays it across in front of Owen Duffy. Owen Duffy then lays it off in front then of Dara Traynor. There's a Monaghan player dragged down here after the ball had gotten away. I'm not so sure if it's been picked up by the officials or not, but plays continued on with Conor McKiernan not showing any ill effects from that knock that he took a little earlier on. He plays it over then to the far side to Dara Traynor once more. Dara Traynor stepping inside to the midfield area and using the support then of Kyle Connolly. Kyle Connolly going back across then in front. That's Dara Dempsey, I think it is, and he changes and swaps it right across to this near side to Jimage Moran. Jimage Moran outside the 45, and he goes right up into the corner here then to Shane Slevin. Shane Slevin sells to the left, comes back onto the right, in on the sideline again. I tell you what, for a corner back, he's got plenty of tricks, but now he's been gobbled up and the ball's been turned over, and he's there again. Michael Medlinan getting that one away, plays in front of Sean O'Donnell. Sean O'Donnell played it out then to Stephen Donaghy. Stephen Donaghy right the whole way up in front of us here. Lovely ball taken inside then by Daniel Fullerton. Tyrone have come out, and there's a little bit more urgency about their play at the start of the second half. Ball went inside there. Luke Donnelly done very well to go down and get that one. 1, 2, 3, 4 Monaghan players converge on him. Charging in, he's adjudged to have held. No, he's adjudged to have been fouled with a swing round the waist. I thought he was adjudged to have overcarried it there with the steps that he'd taken, but I think the referee favoured the forward.
Yeah, definitely. So I just think there was a slight tug now. I thought at one stage Monaghan had 2 or 3 men around him. I thought they were going over past him, but there was a slight wee tug, but I think the right call was made. So it should be a handy one here for Luke Donnelly now.
We said that the last time when we put it to the wrong side of the post and wide, but yes, it should be. I would have thought of a man of his calibre. I think there's a blood sub here as well. The referee was a judge, and yeah, it has to be a blood sub, I think, yeah. Now, it's a Monaghan player, number 17 is going to go in momentarily, Egon Brennan. Drumhowan is going to be going in, and it's Shane Hanratty that's coming off of Inniskeen. He obviously took a knock there maybe in that last passage of play. It must be on his hand. He's not so sure himself where the blood is, so they're going to go look for the blood. That's exactly what they're going to do. So Shane Hanratty, just a blood sub here at the moment, and Egon Brennan has gone in place of him. Luke Donnelly all this time is standing over the ball right out on the edge of the D, and one would have thought this should be a straightforward put in over the bar for him. And I think Shane Hanratty's going to immediately be back in again. Blood, maybe it wasn't his that was spotted. He puts it in and over the bar, and it's out to a 3-point game. The goal now is the big telling score, and I suppose in a game that was so close like this, a goal was always going to be a massive score.
Yeah, it was, and at the start of the second half, it was a great start with Tyrone. But Mullen's responded well, and that's that man, Carl Gallagher. That's his third clean catch at the second half, and here comes Jason Irwin now.
Yes, indeed, Jason Irwin onto the right boot. Jason Irwin puts it in and over the bar. Wonderful score, and it all came from a wonderful mark. His third of this second half, Carl Gallagher.
Yeah, Carl Gallagher's really on form here today. Now he's playing great stuff. It's a great sight to see how this clean feeling, and he got the ball straight off to Jason Irwin, slipped in onto his right foot, and a great score.
And I see it's a hand injury for Shane Hanratty directly below us here. It's been cleaned up, and Carl Gallagher going up again, breaks it down. Wonderful breakdown to Kyle Connolly. And Monaghan now looking to try and reduce it back once more. 11 points versus 13. That's a high speculative ball. It's out to the wrong side of the post and wide. Monaghan's first wide of the second half. 5 in the first half. Tyrone with 4 in my calculations of the first half. Shane Hanratty's back in again. 5 in the first half. Tommy just corrected me on it here. I missed one of them. But it's Shane Hanratty back in again. Egon Brennan back off there, and there was a mark on his hand and a little wry smile from Egon Brennan there as well. I'm not so sure if he got a chance to touch the ball because it was down at the opposite end of the field for the majority of the time, and the kick out goes out into yards and acres of space. Race for Owen Duffy. He gets onto it there, fouled. He was indeed, and it seemed to catch everybody out, the kick out from the Tyrone goalkeeper there, because everybody just turned and looked and they couldn't believe that it was into acres of space, and it's Tyrone that win it. They had to change the direction with it, James Marin, and they've done that because they've changed it right over to this near side, because he had a yard of space from 7. He plays the ball right up in front then of Dara Dempsey. Dara Dempsey trying to come back in on the favourite left foot, and he pops it back once more to James Marin. James Marin is Shane Hanratty. James Marin, no, he just put too much of the outside of the boot on it, going for it. Would have been a wonderful looking score, but when they go wrong like that, they're horrible.
Yeah, they're great when they go over is right, Sean, but no, it just tailed to the left and wide. But good effort all the same. But it's been a fantastic game. 110 to 11 points. So as I said, it's just that start Tyrone got. It buckled Monaghan there for the first few minutes, but they've responded well to it.
They have indeed. They've recovered from it. The kick out again from the goalkeeper goes awry. It's out over the sideline. That's the second time that has happened. Once in the first half, Monaghan got a score from it, and the resultant then sideline ball that they took short between Jason Irwin and Dara Dempsey, and it's Jason Irwin and the number 5 Kyle Connolly that works at this time. Back out again with Jason Irwin. He's looking at the post. Jason Irwin backs himself. It's out to the wrong side and wide. Oh, the wides are beginning to roll in for Monaghan here now. That's an opportunity to level matters. There's still 2 between them. That's 2 wides. The goalkeeper's being told to slow it down. Interesting, the Mirishka went in there. Mir Fearnan just went in and just told him slow it down, and now there's an injury. This is the little tactic maybe we'll see as well. Suddenly a Tyrone player has gone down, just he's momentarily holding the ankle, so the physio comes on from him. The Mirishka went in, just told the goalkeeper Fintan Coney that the referee's telling him to get on with it, just to slow it down. And again he goes out to that, he's aiming for Michael McLean, and Carl Gallagher goes up Conor McKiernan, but Michael McLean got a hand, and an important hand to it, to break it away to Sean O'Donnell. Sean O'Donnell playing it up in front here then to Mark Devlin. Mark Devlin trying to sidestep Ronan Boyle, and he hasn't done that. Back inside once more onto the right boot, just out to the wrong side and wide. 2 bounces, and again guilty of that. I suppose you just can get caught up in the game. That's twice we've seen that happening.
Yeah, he just, he got caught in what he was in 2 minds of what he was going to do, and he ended up bouncing the ball twice. So lucky enough for Monaghan got away with that one.
Number 21's coming in, well spotted by my stats man here alongside me, Kaelan. He spotted number 21 has come in, and it's James Marin that's making way. Well, in fairness, he's covered a lot of ground, and it's Tiernan Kierans of Curran that has come in there. So Monaghan just changing it up now as well, adding the fresh legs. I would have thought there'll be a running into the bench maybe from both management teams now as well. It's a high rate and high intensity game, and a lot of energy in it being expended with Carl Gallagher. Shane Hanratty back on again after picking up a hand injury there earlier on. It's with Owen Duffy. Haven't just seen as much of him breaking through the middle, but he's on the ball at the moment. Monaghan pushing up and trying to just find, and Tyrone flooding the players' backs, sort of all those kicking areas. Is with Dara Dempsey. Dara Dempsey was blocked down. It was on the right boot. They immediately knew he was going to go with the right boot, and they've turned it over to Conor McKiernan, and he's adjudged to being too aggressive in the tackle. And I thought he'd done enough just to put a hand to ball and break it away there, and it's taken then quickly by Rory Campbell. He plays it out over to that far side in front of Aaron McGrath, and Aaron McGrath tearing up along the sideline. The linesman on the far side trying to keep with him, and he's not going to win that race. Plays it in front here then. Stephen Donaghy playing it across, and it's broken down inside, and Shane Hanratty, none the worse for the hand injury that he had that forced him off as a blood sup in the early moments of this second half. Monaghan 11 points, Tyrone 110, 2-point game. The goal, all important goal coming straight from the throw in from Tyrone, Michael McLean, and now for Conor McKiernan. Conor McKiernan pops it across inside. Goal opportunity for Monaghan, well taken down inside Nayan. Goal! Michael Hamill threatened to do that in the first half, and he finds the net in the second half. Small man, big man, small man wins the jump.
Definitely, yeah, it was a great attack there by Conor McKiernan in the midfield. Spotted number 12, Michael Hammond, in behind his man. He won the ball, sidestepped the goalkeeper. He was looked at as being pulled down, got the left boot to it, into the back, and that game on. What a score!
What a score, 111 to Monaghan, 110 to Tyrone. It's back and forth, it's ebbed and flowed. Jason Irwin, he takes the mark in the middle of the field. Tyrone's kicker going awry once again. He plays it down in front of Shane Slevin. Shane Slevin looks out, Dara Dempsey's an option, Liam McDonald's an option. He goes instead for Kyle Connolly. Kyle Connolly back across once more. I think that's Dara Dempsey on it now. The whole way out to Karen Markey. Karen Markey doesn't win that one. Two players collide in the middle of the field. It was a ball that Carl just was always going to be challenging for. Tyrone player wins the challenge. More importantly, wins the free. Tyrone can clear the danger, and they do that right up in front of Daniel Fullerton here. He's out in the middle of the field. Conor McKiernan gets a hand to him inside there. The Tyrone player thought he was fouled. He momentarily stopped. So did the Monaghan player, but there was no whistle from the referee, so they get up and get on with it. With Sean O'Donnell. Sean O'Donnell crossing over the 20-metre line. He's been bottled up. Tries to get a kick away. That's a high speculative dropping one coming right down in underneath. The substitutes come in. Goal opportunity. Luke Donnelly. Joe Kirk with the save. Great save. I think it was Joe that did get something to the breaks out, and now come on, and it's end-to-end stuff. You darn take your eye off it for a second, even look down on the page and write down or make any note whatsoever, because you'll miss something. It's with the number 21, Tiernan Kieran. Tiernan Kieran plays it in front of Kyle Connolly. The crowd are raising to their feet. They're enjoying this one. Still Kyle Connolly going on. 20-metre line, going looking for the score, out to the wrong side of the post and wide. We can take a breath and catch our breath. We could be doing with a drink of water here as well. Substitution below us. Number 20 is going to come in. Shea Gallagher for Tyrone's going to come in as well. It's a little break, and we all need it here at the minute, Tommy.
Definitely. So, as you said, you can't even put mark any scores down in the paper in front of us, but you missed some. But it was a great break out by Kyle Connolly there, and he just got caught on his week off and put it wide. But that's 9 wide now for Monaghan, so they're starting to rack up. So hopefully they don't come back to root that at the end of the match.
Titten Coney, goalkeeper, slipped as that one went out, but he was still able to get it to Aaron McGrath, so he was. Aaron McGrath playing the whole way up right into the corner, and then Cian Maguire is trying to shepherd that one out. That's dangerous play, trying to shepherd it right over the end line, and he was adjudged to got a push on the back. He got away with that one, let me tell you, and he plays it up here in front. The Monaghan support are here in large numbers, urging on Shane Slevin. A little bit of history looking to be made here today as well, as Monaghan look to defend their title, and Shane Slevin slips and is turned over, and Sean O'Donnell now goes on the attack for Tyrone. Plays it up in front here then of Mark Devlin. Mark Devlin crossing in over the 45. Jason Irwin comes across on him. That's a foul. That's one of those ones you'll take, for the simple reason being it just took the pace out of the game. And you'd be glad maybe sometimes to see that player coming across you. You don't want fouls occurring, but that was one you were willing to give up just to stop the pace of the game.
To stop the pace of the game, without a doubt, but I think it's within kicking distance. I don't see Luke Donnelly coming out for this one, so it's Mark Devlin who's over this himself, and he's going to put it on the grass and try it off the ground. But it's really has been an entertaining game, this from start to finish. It's been brilliant stuff, brilliant match for minor football, and two well-balanced teams here. Not much between them at all, Sean.
No, there's only the point between them, 111 to 110 in favour of Monaghan. It's ebbed and flowed this one. Mark Devlin, I think in the first half, but over 45, so that's why he's been calling this one just inside the 45. He catches it, but it's gone out. Is it going to go out? No, it's kept inside there, and coming in is Dara Dempsey, or Luke McDonald I should say. Liam McDonald right back in his full back line took that one, and now Monaghan will go raid and go attacking. He is the runner in front of Dara Traynor if he wants to make use of him. Monaghan now just slowing it down for themselves, looking at the clock. 17 minutes coming up on gone in this second half. Monaghan by 1 after Tyrone had gone up and 3 up in this second half. Monaghan have replied back. Goal from Michael Hamill, the all-important score from Monaghan's perspective. Is with Monaghan, and all of a sudden the game just slows down. It takes a break, it takes a breather, and we all could be doing with that. There was a change, by the way. Number 8, Stephen Donny for Tyrone went off, and the number 20 coming in was Shea Gallagher. The pace of this game meant we didn't even get a chance to give you that substitution because there was so much happening. You can't take your eye off it for a minute. With Shane Slevin, sells it back out. I don't think he's on a favoured left foot, or his left foot isn't the one he wants to be kicking on. He goes back out to Conor McKiernan. Conor McKiernan going looking. No, it's out to the wrong side of the post and wide. And Monaghan, that's a 4th wide the second half, and that's a 10th wide in all as well for them. And again, the opportunities is arising for them. These two teams are going to tire as this game goes on, Tommy, and you'd imagine more and more space is going to become available. There's a second ball on the field, so that'll take a break and play here as well.
Yeah, just with the heat temperature outside there, it's draining on the players, and as you said, you can just see the game slightly, both defences slightly opening up, but it's been, the boys has given a full throttle from the start of this game, and it's not easy now. But that's Owen Duffy, great dispossession. He's been very solid for Monaghan at centre back.
He has indeed. The roar of the crowd there as well when they seen the break and play, and Owen Duffy robbing it because Tyrone were coming at pace up along the sideline. And is there a change here again? He's opting to go back here, so he is, and he does that inside to Shane Hanratty, and Monaghan maybe could work themselves into a little bit of trouble here. They've gone the whole way back to the full back line with Cian Maguire, and now they're going to carry it out. And why they do that? Because all of a sudden Tyrone just step back, the space opens up. Conor McKiernan has time to fumble the ball, take it back in again. Ronan Boyle done so much in this first half, and he uses an up scope for Carl Gallagher inside there. Carl Gallagher steps inside, 1-2. All of a sudden the field opens up in front of him. 3 challenges. Now will he finish it with a score? No, it's out to the wrong side of the post and wide. That's frustrating. He's done so much hard work, ping-ponging off the tackles there. Another change, 18. Luke Donnelly is coming off, and going in is the number 18. Luke Donnelly going off, and Rory Canavan going inside there. And Tommy just hit me a little dunt with his elbow here as well. Unless there's a knock or something. That's a strange one.
Well, it is. He just wasn't as effective as he was in the first half, but still, the quality of that player, you keep him on the pitch. He wasn't doing nothing wrong. I did think the ball had stopped going into him, but surprised to see that one. But however, Rory Canavan is in now, so I don't know much about him. The name is familiar in Tyrone, so if he's anything like Peter Canavan, he'll be a hard man to watch.
He will indeed. Errigal Kieran's his club, so there's a good chance there's some connection there. We'll be checking with our Tyrone colleagues. Is it a son? It's a son. They're all giving me the thumbs up here. The Tyrone media down to my right hand side. So Canavan is on the field in place of a Luke Donnelly. Maybe it's not a bad swap to be making. That's another wide, by the way, from Monaghan there as well. It was one out in the middle of the field, played out to this near side. It was the number 21, Tiernan Kieran's, with the effort there, and it's back outside once more. And again, Michael McLean now takes the mark in the middle of the field. They've been directing a lot of balls to him in the second half. He had that massive burst at the start of the second half, got the goal and got involved in 1 or 2 challenges as well. Cian Maguire doing very well to get that one up, and still being stood up, and the ball bubbling about and coming across, and making no mistake was Darragh Traynor. Nobody was going to get that ball off him, let me tell you, over on that far side. And Monaghan come attacking here, and it was back, giving the hand was Liam McDonald. He plays it across. I think that's Darragh Traynor coming and giving the option, or is it Owen Duffy inside? Plays across then in front of Conor McKiernan. Monaghan, you think, just need another point to set themselves. They've had so many opportunities with Carl Gallagher. Now it's with the man that should be fit to do it, Darragh Dempsey. One look at the post. The umpires also look at each other out to the wrong side of the post and wide. Well, they're disagreeing with that, and it was well wide, I think they're saying, from looking at it there. Darragh Dempsey momentarily thought he'd done enough. Another change. Mark Devlin now is also going off, and Kieran Daly is coming in. So players that we had noted from a Tyrone perspective we thought were doing very, very well are the players that's been changed, run themselves into the ground. Still the 1 point between them. It's 20 minutes gone with us here in this second half, and you just know the temperatures and the weather and the clear blue skies maybe having a telling effect on it. The game, the quality maybe just dipping ever so slightly, but tiredness and exhaustion's bound to be playing a part there. Well, as I say that, Michael McCann going on the raid here. He plays it down in front of Rory Campbell. Oh, great tackle from Owen Duffy. Does he win the ball? He does win the ball, Owen Duffy. Wonderful work from the Latin man, and it goes out, and it's going to be a sideline ball directly below us here from Owen Duffy. That's what you want to see a centre half back doing.
Definitely so. He's been on his game. He's been solid in defence, and then penetrating runs from centre back right at the heart of Tyrone defence. He's having a great game here for Monaghan.
He is indeed, and Monaghan with Shane Hanratty through the hands of Kyle Connolly right over onto the far side. Monaghan have immediately just starting to slow the game down, and Carl Gallagher again sold one of those balls inside. It was 50, 60, 40 in his favour, and he just about got hand the ball there, and he's doing very well. Strong, imposing player, and Monaghan guilty giving it away, but Carl Gallagher again gets hand the ball inside there, and he plays it out in front then to Liam McDonald. Monaghan have had plenty of opportunities, put a lot of daylight between the sides here, just haven't done it, and you may find now they'll try to get the ball onto those that are more confident of kicking it in. Oh, lovely ball played inside here to Tiernan Kieran's. Tiernan Kieran's trying to find a yard of space. Has he got it? He's on now to the left foot. Now should be an opportunity. Now should be the score. Out to the wrong side of the post and wide again. Monaghan are kicking themselves out of it. They're only a point up, 110 to 111. They've had plenty of opportunities there. It's just not happening, and maybe that's because the pressure's been put on the kicker as well.
It is, but I said it earlier on. I hope it doesn't go back to these misses to Rue Monaghan at the end of the match. That's 14 wides now, so it's a lot of wide. But Monaghan's coming again here through Jason Aaron, but you know they need to be putting these between the posts. There's only a point in it. If they get one or two more high to put a wee bit of distance between them, it'd be badly needed.
Carl Gallagher again with a massive leap in the middle of the field, broke that one down, and Monaghan won themselves a free from it after a trip inside on Jason Irwin. So they have an opportunity here. Monaghan again is quite a distance outside the 45. Is that Gallagher that's standing over it? Is it Dara Dempsey's? Carl Gallagher that's standing over it there. The fade haircut, all the style for the championship of 2019, so it's hard to tell a lot of these players apart. Oh, that's so wonderful effort! In and over the bar. I think it was Dara Dempsey, I'm thinking that one, was it? It was Dara Dempsey. As I say, the haircuts are all the same with these fades, but that was Dara Dempsey with that effort to put two between them. Long distance out there, Monaghan win the mark in the middle of the field with Conor McKiernan again, and they play it straight back up in front of that man. Dara Dempsey backs himself out to the wrong side and wide. Well, he just momentarily got a torn quick look, went for the effort. He was right to do so, but he just put too much on it, and Fintan Coney goes with the short kick out. Tyrone looking to build from the back with Conor Cuddy. Conor Cuddy has support over on the sideline, but he runs into a little bit of trouble, but he still gets it away in front of Aaron McGrath, and the ball spills away, and referee Dan Mullen judges that too aggressive Monaghan in the tackle there, so it comes back. 24 minutes gone, second half. Monaghan 112, Tyrone 110. Up into the middle here, and it drops right down in front there. James Donaghy done very well to scoop that one up. He plays it diagonally right out into the corner. Race for possession. Shane Hanratty pull on the jersey, wins himself the free. I said it in the first half, I say it in the second half. When it comes to a man-to-man sprint, Monaghan always win them sprints.
Yeah, their fitness level is superb. Shane Hanratty was at least 5 or 6 yards behind his man, got out in front of him, won the free, and creates another attacking counter now for Monaghan.
He does indeed. It's over on the far side, and Monaghan again, just the pace of the game being slowed down. Cian Maguire coming out. He started number 19 on his back in place of the number 9 David Carey. Plays across in front of Ronan Boyle, back out over to that far sideline. So much of the football being played over on that far side with Kyle Conley. Lovely little interchange of play, and back up in front here once more. Kyle Conley coming through. Jason Irwin with speed. Oh, he just a little bit too much on it there. You could see what the intention was as a Tyrone player wins himself a free. You could see what the intention was, trying to play it with pace, and now Tyrone have an opportunity in the turn it round, and he's got his hand on Rory Canavan, that I mentioned his name from we come in as a second half substitute here in place of Luke Donnelly. Tyrone going, battling, attacking up on the far side with Aaron McGrath. Plays it across into the centre here to the big number 20 Shea Gallagher that come in there as well. Big imposing unit of a gentleman as well for a minor player, let me tell you. Up in front then to another substitution, Kieran Daly. Still Tyrone with it here. They're forced up into the corners, back out again, looking for a score. That's a high drop in. Joe Kirk under it. Oh, it just creeps in and over the crossbar, and I'm not so sure, number 19 was it? It was Kieran Daly that come back on that one, and that's a good score from Tyrone. It hung for a long time. No goalkeeper likes to be looking up into the sky at them.
No, and it's difficult for the goalkeeper because you don't know if it's going to come down right on top of you or just creep over the bar, which that one just crept over the bar, but a great score.
Good score under all sorts of pressure. Monaghan going to kick out to win it after punching the air. 1 point between them again. 25 minutes gone. Someone mentioned we could be needing extra time for this one. At the moment, certainly don't discount it. 112 to 111. Monaghan going on the attack with their captain Jason Irwin over on the far side. Where's the options for him? Jason Irwin sees none. Goes for the score. Oh, well taken by the goalkeeper. It could have crept in underneath the crossbar of Fintan Coney there. Done very well to read that one. I think he was going for the point, but it could have dropped just in short. And Tyrone now have an opportunity with Conor Cuddy. He's out on his 45. He plays it back behind there to the number 13. That's Aaron McGrath. Back then to Gallagher, Shea Gallagher. Monaghan player goes to ground, but Tyrone carry on with Aaron McGrath, and maybe they can capitalise, having Monaghan at an opportunity at one end. That Tyrone now could level matters up at the other end. It's with Rory Canavan. Rory Canavan plays it across. His brother will be playing with the under-20s at 6 o'clock. Michael McLeanan inside. It's red, and Monaghan have turned it over. And here they come again once more, Monaghan. Lovely ball played up in front here of the number 15, Liam McDonald. Liam McDonald steps inside. Where's the support play coming for him? There's none. He has to do it all himself. If he looks out, he spots and sees Jason Irwin, puts a little bit too much on it, but Jason Irwin will do very well. Get right out over to the far sideline to take it in. The crowd filtering in on that far side as well, simply because, and he's going for a speculative one out to the wrong side of the post and wide. The stand here on this near side, it appears now to be full. Massive crowd for the double header of underage football finals here. The under 17 minor final that we're watching, and Monaghan leading at the moment 112 to 111. Tyrone and Derry, the under 20 championship final. Derry defending champions in that one. It's here at 6 o'clock. Michael McLeanan is breaking through the middle here. Done this in the early stages of the second half to get the goal for Tyrone. Plays it out to this near side, and Tyrone, it's with their number 12. Oh, it's dropping Joe Kirk, and it comes down to the crossbar. Gone for a 40. No, it's right along the end line, trail along the end line, and looking to go across is Dara Trainer. I don't know how that one didn't even go out over the end line. The spin on the ball kept it in. Now Monaghan have an opportunity, and again the crowd raised to their feet, so they do here, urging on Shane Slevin over on that far side. 28 minutes gone with us here in this second half. Still with Shane Slevin. Plays it inside then to Michael Hamill, the goal scorer. His all-important goal could be the one that will see Monaghan make it back-to-back Ulster minor titles for themselves. Shane Slevin slips. He plays a little foot pass back out in front of Dara Dempsey, and just you see the pace of the game has just dwindled, and Monaghan now happy to play keep ball, play it the whole way back up. Oh, they've given it away. Oh, Ronan Boyle done brilliantly there to get a hand of that one with over his head, basketball style, took the bounce inside on it there, because Monaghan would have been opened up only for that. Kieran Kieran's putting it inside, keeper coming out, they make a mess of it between them, but the goalkeeper done very well. He goes to ground. No, he knew how to buy the free there, coming across the inside of the head, and again the Monaghan player wins the race. Tiernan Kieran's doing very well, touched on the ground. No, it's not. The referee's happy to let it go on, and it's with Liam McDonald here. Liam McDonald out there to Kyle Coney. Kyle Coney trying to step inside. Oh, he loses the ball. It's going to go out for a 45, is it? No, yes, it's gone for a 45 for Monaghan. Well, I think Tyrone will feel unfortunate, because I thought the Tyrone player fouled coming out there. Was there touching the ball then on the ground from the Tyrone player? It ebbed and flowed. It went both ways, and the referee's going in to have a word with the linesman. I think there was something said maybe here as well, or they're checking just the time, possibly that's what it was. 29 minutes gone here in this second half with us, and that's one of those calls, one of those decisions. Could have went possibly either way. Tyrone will be thinking it could have gone in their favour. Monaghan turned the ball over, and Dara Dempsey has an opportunity with a 45 to put two between them. 29 minutes gone. Number 23 is going to come in. Ethan Neal is going to come in, and I see he's obviously wearing safety glasses of some sort or other, and it's a double substitution. 21, Ronan McHugh is going to come in as well. Well, back in 2013, Tyrone found themselves 2 points up going into the dying minutes of that final, and then Monaghan got their penalty. Will Monaghan have an opportunity to put two between them here, and then hope that history couldn't repeat itself the opposite way around, with a goal going at the other end. Dara Dempsey starting over this one. Had a red card, they're telling us here, is it? A red card being shown to a Monaghan player. Tiernan Kieran's, is it? The number 21. So it's obviously something the linesman spotted. He consulted with his referee, and it is the number 21. So Monaghan down to 14 players for the few minutes that remains of this one. So obviously something happened after the ball had went away there. We followed the action, so we did. We're to be told that there was just a swing maybe after the ball had went away. Good work from the officials then, if that's the case. So Monaghan down to 14. Tiernan Kieran's, and Dara Dempsey 10 is coming off. So number 10 is coming off, and Ronan McHugh is going in there. Lots of changes now happening as we head into 41 seconds over the allotted 30. 112 to 111. Dara Dempsey with an opportunity to put two between them. Will Monaghan make it back-to-back titles? The last time it was achieved by any Monaghan men's team to do this, I think, was 1939 to 1940. Dara Dempsey stepping up. Dara Dempsey catches it. Dara Dempsey puts it in and over the bar. There's two between them. 1:13, and we have 4 minutes to be played. And as a change, David Kearley for Monaghan is going to be coming in. Monaghan are 2 up. Tyrone need to be getting on with it. They're doing that. They're playing it up inside. And coming in from Cian Maguire. Monaghan have turned it over, and they're coming one more time on the attack. Playing it down into the centre. He has no one in front. He plays it then in front then of Liam McDonald. Liam McDonald turns. A simple score would be enough, you would have thought. Oh, he just hopelessly swung about at that one, and Tyrone now have turned it over. And now it's going to be an opportunity for them to go on the attack. Ethan O'Neill, I tell you, will stand out because I see he's got a pair of those safety type glasses on him, so you immediately recognise him outside there. But he plays in front then to Shea Daly. Referee just momentarily gets in the way, but it wasn't enough to stop Ronan McHugh. Ronan McHugh with Michael McGleenan. Michael McGleenan trying in. Referee again gets in the way, and a third time the referee gets in the way. He's just trying to get himself out of the way at the moment with Shea Daly. Tyrone going to go looking for a goal. Back here with the number 21, dropping down into the hands of a grateful Joe Kirk. Go on, Joe, says Tommy alongside me. Here is Clubman, and they play it out in front. Little tug back inside there on Dara Trainer, but he does enough to win the ball for himself, and he wins himself the free. We're 32 minutes gone. There's 34 to be played in the second half. The change has been made. Conor McKiernan is coming off, and number 9, David Kearley, is going in. And I could hear you alongside me here, Tommy. Go on, Joe.
Yeah, it was a great take, just on the pressure, but this is really a touch and go here. 2 points in at the minute, and 32 minutes on the clock. It's a hell of a level. It's been a great game. There'll be nothing between both of these sides, but just Monaghan's wide count, I think I have it at 16 here. That's something they're going to have to improve on. But listen, we're 2 points up at the minute, and we're on the attack at the present time.
1 minute remaining. Well, as I say, we need no reminder what happened in 2013 when Monaghan, many thought, came in and stole it on that day, but they backed it up. It was Frank Brady, the manager on that occasion. Seamus McEnany was the manager in 2018 when Monaghan achieved another minor title for themselves. Shane Slevin, give him help is the shout. Plays a lovely little ball over in front of Kyle Coney. Oh, little pop pass up in front of Jason Irwin. Will the captain wrap it up from Monaghan here? He plays it across. Michael Hamill, goal scorer, back out. Jason Irwin popping in and over the bar, out to the wrong side of the post and wide. Jason Irwin goes down Crump. He's gone with Crump, Jason Irwin, and that's another wide for Monaghan. And they'll be keen to get out, and Monaghan are going to the aid. Jason Irwin, the physio, should get in and get on with it there, and let Monaghan get on with it. And that's the physio. They're running in and telling them to get on with it, because Tyrone have gotten on with it, and now they're going attacking at the opposite end of the field. Is Mark Coonahan to be the next minor manager to draw success for these young team? Tyrone going to go looking for the goal. Shane Hanratty has turned it over. Back out with Tyrone once more. This is going to be the last attack. They're going to go looking for the goal. It's inside. Taken. Broken down. Still a goal opportunity for Tyrone. Blocked inside. Monaghan have won it inside without nothing. They're going to play it out in front of Carl Gallagher here. Monaghan just need to hold on to the ball. That's exactly what they're going to do. The ball is the ball. They've done it! 1939 to 1940 was last achieved. Minor success, back to back. Now we can add 2018 and 2019 to it.
Jason Irwin, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of Ulster Council to present the cup, the Lottery Cup, to Jason Irwin.
Jason!
You're right.
Lift her up, Jason. Brilliant. Go down, lift down, Jason. Jason. Let's squeeze in here, so squeeze in. Get him right there. Where are the stars? Just going to keep this short and sweet here. Just want to say a few thank yous on behalf of me, the squad, people right beside me here. To the athletic grounds, what an excellent pitch, top quality conditions as usual. Thank you very much. Also, to the linesman, referee, the umpires, thanks very much. Excellent game now, thank you. Now, on to the throw, lads. What an excellent game of football. Third time this year. played us in the league final. He's got the better of us. Played us in Carrickmore. We've got the better of us. Lads, these are an excellent, excellent bunch of the squad. Keep the head up and no longer. We'll see you meet us again, hopefully. 3 cheers for Tyrone. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! The Monaghan County Board, especially Michael O'Gorman, thank you for everything. The work that's been done through this year has been phenomenal. Thank you. To our main sponsors, Investec and Celtic Europe, the money and everything pumped into the county is unreal. Thanks very much. Thank you. Now, to the main man of all, the ways over us. Suppose we'll start with Jerry Conley. What an excellent, excellent lad to have anymore. Practicing me, Darren, all the ways to free kicks. Super. Thank you very much, Jerry. Mark O'Connor, all that training you've been through with us. Excellent. Thank you. Barry McKenna, the work this lad does with us in the gym is unbelievable. He has us in the shape of our lives. And no doubt he can take us the whole way to Croke Park. Now, Video, Isaac, you've been through some rough times with myself and most of the lads beside me here. We're more times than that betting you than fucking out in the training field. Now, how could you forget the one and only Jojo? Jojo can write down on everything after us after training and everything. Thanks very much, Jojo. To the main man, Mark Cunningham. The work this lad does with us behind the scenes, everything is unbelievable. We don't realise the work that he does, but it's sure out here that the work he does got us, and we're 2-time Ulster champions. Woo! Now, these bunch of lads to the left-hand side here, what can I say? The commitment, the effort, everything these guys have done, they've done it 100%. And myself, the manager, the back review, asked them to do. They've done it with everything they could. So lads, I just want to say thanks very much for everything you've done throughout the year. And now, this blue and white army in front of me, only for you. Thanks very much for coming down here this Sunday evening to support us. We were expecting Tyrone to have a big outfit here with the minors and the under-20s. But Monaghan, the people of Monaghan, thanks very much for coming out in numbers.